Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, November 11th, 2022. Big show today, as always, every Friday. Thursday Night Football, we'll recap it, look ahead to the weekend ahead in the NFL. College football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, golf, news and notes, and best bet, and the Fab Five. We'll start with Thursday Night Football. It was an interesting game, to say the least. Yours truly took the over and 3 missed extra points. Cost it. Panthers over the Falcons 25-15. Carolina 3-7. Atlanta 4-6. Okay, now we look ahead to the games this weekend. We have a game in Germany on the NFL Network Sunday morning. It's the Seahawks and it's the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers in this game are favored by 2.5. Totals 44.5. I'm going to take the Seahawks getting the 2.5 and plus 120. They're the better team right now. Vegas still doesn't believe in this Seattle team and Geno Smith. It's the first time I think I've had an edge on them all year. So give me the Seattle Seahawks getting the 2.5 and plus 120 to win straight up. 1 o'clock on Fox, you have the Vikings and the Bills. And by the way, my projection for the Germany game is Seahawks by 5, total 43 7/10. So, Vikes, Bills. The Bills are giving 3.5, totals 42.5. Give me Minnesota getting the 3.5 and plus 150 to win outright. I have Vikes 1.5, total 43.25. A lot of injuries on the Bills right now. Josh Allen's questionable. Give me the Minnesota Vikings. Skol, baby. Lions, Bears. The Bears are giving 2.5. Totals 48.5. My projection's 4-48 and 4/5. Slight lean to the Bears here. On CBS, Broncos, Titans from Tennessee. Titans are giving 2.5. Totals 38.5. I have a whopping 10-35. Give me Tennessee minus the points. Denver has so many injuries. I don't know why that line is that low. It looks like Ryan Tannehill's coming back. Jaguars, Chiefs. The Chiefs are giving 9.5. Totals 50.5. I like the under. I have 10-47 and 19/20. So the lowest scoring game that I expected. Next up is the Browns and the Dolphins on CBS. Jags, Chiefs is CBS as well. So, Dolphins are favored by 3.5, totals 49.5. I'm laying it with Miami. I have 8 and 49.25. Also on CBS, you have the Texans and the Giants from MetLife Stadium. Giants are giving 5.5, totals 41.5. I'm going to lay the points with the Giants. I have 11.5 and 39.75. Saints Steelers on Fox. New Orleans is giving 1.5, totals 40.5. Ooh. The question is, where do I go? I have a nice edge on the over and a nice edge on the Steelers. I have 3 and 44 in the 5th. So I have like a 3.5 point edge almost over that on the over. No pun intended. And I have a bigger edge on the Steelers, so I'm going to take Pittsburgh getting the 1.5 and plus 108 to win outright. 4 o'clock window now on CBS. You have the Colts and the Raiders. Jeff Saturday's first game as intern coach. The Raiders are giving 4.5, totals 40.5. Raiders have a lot of injuries. I freaking hate the hire. It's irrelevant when it comes to this pick. I think that this will just be a close game. Either Colts getting the 4.5. I absolutely despise the pick. It's probably my least favorite pick I've given out on the podcast all year. Just hate the Jeff Saturday hire so much. On Fox at 4 o'clock or 4:25, the Cowboys and the Packers. Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olsen on the call. Cowboys were given 4.5, totals 43. I have 4.5 and 38.75. So give me the under. Cowboy defense is going to show up and out. And also on 4:25, you have the Cardinals and the Rams. Rams are 1-point favorites, totals 40.5. I have a 3.5-point edge on the Rams, and I have an over 3.5-point edge on the over. So I'm going to go with the over instead of the Rams. I think that's a smarter play anyway. And on Sunday Night Football on NBC, Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth on the call, 8:20. It's the Niners hosting the Chargers. The Niners are giving a whopping 7. Total's 45.5. I have 5.5 and 44 3/5. I'm going slight lean to the Chargers, amazingly enough, for my pick on that one. All right, now move on to college football. We'll recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to the games being played tonight and the weekend. Alrighty then. So we had 3 games last night. Eastern Michigan over Akron, 34-28. Eastern 6-4, Akron 1-9. Ohio over Miami of Ohio, 37-21. Ohio 7-3, Miami of Ohio 4-6, and Toledo over Ball State, 28-21. Actually, no, that was Tuesday. My bad. 2 games last night. Memphis over Tulsa, 26-10. Memphis 5-5, Tulsa 3-7, and Louisiana over Georgia Southern 36-17. Louisiana 5-5, Georgia Southern is also 5-5. All right, 3 games tonight. That's what I had the 3 in my head. 8 o'clock on ESPN2, you have East Carolina and Cincinnati, so a good AAC game was bumped to ESPN2 because of college basketball, but that's okay because the college basketball, I think the network wants to showcase a little bit. All right, so Cincinnati's giving 4.5. Total is 51.5. Give me the over. I have 7.5 and 54 and 17-20. It's 9:30 Fox Sports 1 Colorado at number 8 USC. Big game for the Trojans. They're giving 34.5. Total 66.5. Give me Colorado getting the points. I'm probably looking at the UCLA a little bit. I have 24 and 61. And 10:30 on CBS Sports Network, Fresno State and UNLV. Fresno's giving a whopping 9.5, total 16.5. I have actually UNLV as a half-point favorite, total 53 and a 20th. And I know Fresno got off to a slow start and such. I still think they're an overrated football team, even though the quarterback's back. I just think UNLV, I don't know if they'll win like my numbers suggest that they might, but I'm going to gladly take the 9.5 points at home against Fresno State in a night game on a Friday. All right, Saturday. Going to be a fun day, of course, as it always is. 12 o'clock on Fox with Indiana, number 2, Ohio State. Buckeyes are giving 39.5, totals 58.5. Give me Indiana getting the points to hang around. CBS, Missouri at number 5, Tennessee. And by the way, I have 22 and 58 and 11/20 for Indy, Ohio State. So, Mizzou, Tennessee. Tennessee's giving 20.5, total 56.5. Giving Missouri getting the points. Maybe it's a little bit of a hangover for Tennessee. I have 13.5 and 55 3/4. ESPN, number 7, LSU at Arkansas. Oh, boy. LSU's giving 3.5, total 61.5. Slight under. I have LSU 2.5, total 59 9/10. ABC, number 20, Notre Dame at Navy, the newly ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame's giving 15.5, totals 39.5. Give me the over. I have 14 and 48.5. ESPN2, Purdue at number 21, Illinois. Illinois is giving 6.5, totals 44.5. Oh, this is close. I have 5.5 and 44 and 19/20. Slight lean to Purdue, like slight. SEC Network, Vanderbilt at number 24, Kentucky. Kentucky is giving 17.5, totals 45.5. Give me the over. I have 13.5 and 53 and 7/20. Fox Sports 1, Oklahoma, West Virginia from Morgantown. Oklahoma's giving 8.5. Total is 68.5. Give me the under. I have 6 and 64 and 13/20. CBS Sports Network, Liberty, UConn. Liberty's giving 13.5, totals 45.5. I have 8.5 and 47 and 20th. So give me UConn getting the points. They're a win away from being bowl eligible. How about that? and maybe a letdown spot for Liberty. Rutgers, Michigan State on the Big Ten Network. This is obviously an interesting game. How does Sparty respond after their big upset win? And they need this game. Both teams need the game because they're both 2 away from being bowl eligible. Sparty's giving 9.5, totals 41.5. Give me the over. I have 5 and 48 in the 10th. Virginia Tech, Duke. Duke is favored by 9.5, totals 49.5. I'm going with the over. I have 11 and 51 and 9/10. Pitt, Virginia on the ACC Network. Virginia's getting 5.5, total 40.5. I have Pitt by 4.5, total 48 and a 20th. So the pick is the over. SMU in South Florida on ESPNU. This game's not good. SMU is a whopping 17.5 point favorite, total 72.5. I have 6.5 and 69 and 4/5. Give me USF to hang around a little bit. 1 o'clock, UL Monroe and Georgia State. Georgia State's giving 13.5, totals 58.5. Give me UL Monroe getting all those points. I have 9 and 60 and a 5th. James Madison, Old Dominion. So a couple Sunbelt games in the 1 o'clock hour. JMU's giving 7.5, totals 46.5. Tough one, but give me the over. I have JMU by 2.5, total 52 and 2/5. Lamar, New Mexico State at 2. I project New Mexico State by 37, total 51 and 2/5. Rice, Western Kentucky. Western's giving 13.5, total 59.5. Give me Rice getting all the points. I have 7 and 61 and 3/5. UMass, Arkansas State at 3. Arkansas State is giving 17.5, totals 49.5. That's a lot of points. Give me UMass. I feel like I give out UMass every freaking week, and I hate it with every bit of my bone. Temple, Houston. This game's not good. Houston's giving a whopping 19.5, total 55.5. Give me Temple getting all those points. I have 10.5 and 59 and 2/5. 3:30 ABC, Nebraska, number 3 Michigan. From the Big House, I have Michigan 30.5, total 48.5. Give me Nebraska getting the points. I have 20 and 54 and 13/20. And here is one of my most interesting games. On CBS, number 9 Alabama, number 11 Ole Miss. How does Alabama respond after that heartbreaking loss? Alabama's giving 11.5, total 64.5. I'm taking Ole Miss getting the 11.5, and I'm willing to take them plus 340 to win straight up too. But I don't have the balls to call the money line. It's similar to the Fresno State game from tonight's slate. I have actually projected Ole Miss by 3.5, total 59 and 11/20. This line would have been a lot different if LSU didn't make that 2-point conversion. And maybe I would have been more willing. Actually, no, I don't know if I would have been more willing to take Ole Miss because Alabama's probably more motivated if they hang on there. ESPN, Louisville, number 10, Clemson. Clemson's giving 7, total 52.5. I'm going to lay the points with Clemson. I have 10 and 52 and 9/10. Fox, Maryland at number 14, Penn State. Penn State's giving 10.5, total 56.5. Giving Maryland getting the 10.5. I have 6 and 55 and 9/20. ACC Network, Boston College at number 16, NC State. NC State is giving 18.5, total 41.5. Did people forget that Devin Leary's out for the year? I have 12.5 and 46 and 3/4. Give me Boston College. And I get it. BC's bad. An absolute money game that deserves a bigger stage than being on ESPN2. Number 22, UCF at number 17, Tulane. Tulane's giving 1.5, totals 54.5. I'm laying the points of Tulane. I have 5.5 and 52 and 3/20. Arizona State, Washington State on the Pac-12 Network. Wazoo's giving 8.5, total 59.5. I have 8 and 53. Give me the under. Iowa State, Oklahoma State on ESPNU. I project without Spencer Sanders, Oklahoma State by 5.5, total 53 and 7/10. Iowa State's actually 1.5 point favorite, totals 48.5. Give me OK State getting the points of plus 106, only for a numbers play, but that pick is not being on Fab 5. I can promise you that. NFL Network, Army, Troy. Troy's giving 9.5, total 45.5. I have 11.5 and 48 and 11/20, so give me the over. Fox Sports 1, Wisconsin, Iowa. Interesting game. Iowa's looking a little bit better than they have early on in the year. Wisconsin's giving 1.5, total 35.5. I have Iowa by 3.5, total 41 and 9/20. So the direction is, or the question is, where do I go? I don't know. I'm going to say the over, but I don't feel good about it. Northwestern Minnesota on the Big Ten Network. Minnesota is giving 17.5, total 40.5. I have 17 and 44 and 7/10. Give me the over. Miami and Georgia Tech. Oh my God. Talk about insanity. Georgia Tech's favored in this game, believe it or not, by 1.5, total 44.5. I have Miami by 0.5, total 47 and 2/5. Give me the over. Because both of these defenses stink. CBS Sports Network, New Mexico Air Force. Air Force is giving 21.5, total is 37.5. I have 15 and 42 and 17/20. Giving New Mexico getting the points. App State Marshall, not a bad game. App State Marshall. This is a pick'em, but really it's not a pick'em. Marshall's giving 0.5, total 47.5. And it's 3 and 50 and 1/10, my projection. So it's like 2.5 each way. So give me the over. Doing that. Charlotte, Middle Tennessee. So a couple of CUSA games. I almost said AAC. That's my mistake. Middle's giving 10.5, total 66.5. I have 7 and 62 and 4/5. So Middle's playing better than I thought they would, and my numbers are starting to give them some respect now. I have a 3.5 point edge on Charlotte, and I have a larger edge on the under. So give me the under in that game. Louisiana Tech and UTSA. UTSA is probably a big favorite. Trying to find this one. There it is. UTSA 17.5, total 68.5. I have 16.5 and 68 and 7/10. So this is probably the closest set of projections I've had all show. So give me a slight edge to Louisiana Tech. North Texas and UAB. UAB is giving 5.5, total 57.5. Give me North Texas getting the points. I have 2 at 59 and 9/10. 4 o'clock on the SEC Network, South Carolina and Florida. Florida's giving 8.5, total 58.5. I have Florida by 0.5, total 58 and 1/5. So give me South Carolina getting all those points at Florida. That's ridiculous. 5 o'clock, Texas State and South Alabama. South Alabama's giving 16.5, total 46.5. Give me Texas State getting the points. Number 1, Georgia at Mississippi State on ESPN at 7 o'clock. Georgia's giving 16.5, total 53.5. Give me Mississippi State getting the points. This is a letdown spot potentially for Georgia. On Fox, number 25, Washington, and number 6, Oregon. Great game for that network. It should be the game that Gus Johnson's calling, personally. Oregon's giving 12.5, total 72.5. The question is under or Washington? Let's go with the under. I have 7.5 and 67 and 9/20. Fox Sports 1, number 19, Kansas State at Baylor. Baylor's favored by 2.5, total 52.5. I have 3 and 56 and 3/10, so give me the over. Kansas and Texas Tech. Tech's give me 3.5, total 64.5. I have a half and 64 and 3/4. Give me Kansas getting the points. I just think this is a 3-point game either way. But I understand why people would bet Texas Tech here. Wyoming and Colorado State. Wyoming's giving 9.5, totals 42.5. I have 5.5 and 46.5. I'll take the over instead of trusting Colorado State to cover. FIU. I have FIU projected 3-point favorites, total 54 and 19/20, but FAU is giving a whopping 15.5, totals 54.5. Give me FIU getting all those points. I think they can win outright. They're plus 530. That's insane. Number 4 TCU and number 18 Texas on ABC under the lights. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit will be on the call, and Chris Felica as well will be there. Texas giving 7.5, total 65.5. I have 3.5 and 63 and 19/20. Give me TCU getting to 7.5 and plus 250 to win outright. Texas is not back, folks. What else do I have to tell you? And their quote-unquote moral victory against Alabama is looking worse by the day. ESPN 2, number 15, North Carolina at Wake. Wake's giving 4.5, total 77.5. I have UNC by 2, total 16.7 and 9/10. Give me the under. Although I would be willing to put UNC in a moneyline parlay. A&M Auburn on the SEC network. I have Auburn as projected 3-point favorites, total 50 and 4/5, and it's 1.5 and 48.5. I'll take the over. Southern Miss and Coastal Carolina on ESPNU. Not a bad game for the Sun Belt. Low-key, not a bad game. Southern Miss isn't bad. Coastal's 4.5, total 48.5. I have 12 and 54 and 11/20. I'm going to lay the points with Coastal. Number 23, Florida State at Syracuse on the ACC network at 8 o'clock. Florida State's giving 7.5, total 50.5. Give me Syracuse plus 7.5 and plus 245 outright. I think Florida State's just overhyped right now. Cal, Oregon State on the Pac-12 network at 9 o'clock. Oregon State is giving 13.5, total 48.5. I have 11 and 53. Give me the over. ESPN 10 o'clock, Stanford at number 13, Utah. Utah's giving 24.5, total 53.5. Give me Stanford getting the points. I think Utah might be looking ahead a little bit, although they should still. And I have 16 and 57.25. Arizona at number 12, UCLA on Fox at 10:30. That's a late game for Fox. UCLA is giving 19.5, total 77.5. I have 16.5, total 67.75. Give me the under. I could see UCLA looking ahead a little bit here as well. Next is Boise, Nevada on CBS Sports Network. Boise's giving a whopping 20.5, total 46.5. Boise's not the Boise of old. Give me Nevada getting the 20.5. I have Boise 9.5, total 48 and 4/5. 2 more to go, both in the Mountain West. Fox Sports 1, San Jose State, San Diego State. Fox Sports 1, San Jose State's giving 2.5 at San Diego State. Total's 41.5. I have Pick'em in 42 and 1/5. Give me San Diego State plus the 2.5 and plus 22 outright. And last but not least, Utah State and Hawaii at 11. Utah State's giving 10.5, total 52.5. Give me Hawaii getting the 10.5. I have Utah State by 4, total 51.25. All right, we're going to do college basketball very quickly. I didn't even get a chance to finish some of the line projections, so I apologize, guys, for that. But I do have most of them done. So that's good. And some of the better games on the board I have lines for. So that's good. So we'll go over last night's results very quickly, and then we'll go through tonight and the weekend slate. Queens over Clinton College, 99-65. Northwestern State over Ouachita Baptist, 79-68. Kent State over Baldwin Wallace, 76-55. Morehead State over CU Harrodsburg, 99-58. Rice over St. Thomas, Texas, 85-48. Vatek over Lehigh, 78-52. App State over NC Central, 79-74 in overtime. Ohio State over Charleston Southern, 82-56. Western Michigan over Goshen, 99-62. Hartford over NVU Linden, 85-43. VMI over Penn State NK, 100-58. Texas State over Mid-American CU, 71-53. Cornell over Delhi, New York, 114-57. Troy over MSW, 96-42. Merrimack over Clark, 64-48. FIU over Florida National, 95-74. Quinnipiac over Stonehill, 102-95. Tennessee Tech over Tennessee Wesleyan, 82-48. Chattanooga over Oakland City, 93-49. William and Mary over Mid-Atlantic Christian, 116-40. Western Kentucky over Eastern Kentucky, 66-60. Citadel over Presbyterian, 70-58. Holy Cross over Dean, 85-71. Delaware State over Immaculata, 104-67. UMBC over Penn State York, 92-65. UMass Lowell over Columbia, 89-62. Towson over UMass, 67-55. Colgate over Brown, 77-68. Rutgers over Sacred Heart, 88-50. Penn State over Loyola Maryland, 90-65. Western Carolina loses at Maryland, 71-51. Sam Houston over Southwest Adventist, 120-33. Yikes. Stanford over Spring Hill, 80-61. Stephen F. Austin over Gardner Webb, 86-71. UM Monroe over Dallas Christian, 111-59. Number 5 Kansas over North Dakota State, 82-59. Number 25 Texas Tech over Texas Southern, 78-54. Tarleton over Kansas Christian, 95-49. Morgan State over Penn State Allegheny, 130-49. And North Alabama over Alabama A&M, 84-76. Lindenwood over Hannibal LaGrange Company, 85-58. Illinois State over Eastern Illinois, 54-49. Southern Illinois over Oklahoma State, 61-60. Cincinnati over Cleveland State, 69-58. Marquette over Central Michigan, 97-73. Nebraska over Omaha, 75-61. Notre Dame over Radford, 79-76. Number 13 Indiana over Bethune, 101-49. Little Rock over Arkansas Baptist, 71-60. Number 9 Creighton over North Dakota, 96-61. Number 12 Texas over Houston Christian, 82-31. Weber State over Western Colorado, 83-67. Idaho State over Westcliff, 97-56. Denver over Colorado College, 90-68. Southern Utah over La Verne, 117-55. Idaho over Walla Walla, 122-48. Northern Arizona loses at Arizona State, 84-68. Wyoming over Nichols, 79-68. San Fran over Cal Poly, 60-48. Georgia Southern loses at Santa Clara, 78-62. UC Riverside over Loyola Marrow, 81-79. St. Mary's over Vermont, 79-53, so best bet won. At USC over Alabama State, 96-58. Johnson, Florida, Stetson, postponed. All right. Rapid fire time. Fairfield, New Hampshire at 1 o'clock. Fairfield's a 6.5-point favorite. I have 5.5. Total's 126.5. All right, so I'll take the over. Detroit, Boston College. BC's giving 8.5. I have 3.5, so I'm leaving the points. Johnson, Florida. Jacksonville at 2, we can skip. 5 o'clock, Fresno on UC Santa Barbara. I have UC Santa Barbara by 4. And it's Fresno by 1.5, total 130.5. Give me UC Santa Barbara getting the points and then on the money line to win outright too. Delaware Air Force. I have Delaware by 13.5 and Delaware's only giving 1.5, so I'm laying the points at UDel. UAB Toledo, I have UAB by 3, and it's 5.5. So giving Toledo getting the points. The game's being played in Philly at the Wells Fargo Center, which is interesting. Milligan Mercer, we can skip. 6 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, number 3, Houston. St. Joe's Veterans Classic from Annapolis. I have Houston by 21. It's 21.5. Totals 132.5. Give me the over. Howard, George Washington. I have George Washington 26.5, and it's 5.5. I'm going to lay the points. Louisiana and Harvard. I have Louisiana by 12. And it's 2.5, so I'll lay the points. Boston University, UConn. UConn, I projected by 32. And this game's on Fox Sports 2, by the way. And it is 19.5, so I'm going to lay the points with UConn. ESPN 6:30, Armed Forces Classic from San Diego. Michigan State, number 2, Gonzaga. My projection is Gonzaga by 5. And it's 11.5. That's insane. Give me Sparty to hang around, plus 11.5. UC upstate at number 7, Duke. Duke is giving 27.5, and it's 42. I'm going to lay the points, or I have 42, I should say. Miami, Hamilton, Stony Brook, we can skip. Same for Hendricks in Central Arkansas. Charleston, number 1, North Carolina. North Carolina is giving 19.5. I'll lay it. I have 26.5. Duquesne, number 4, Kentucky on the SEC Network. Kentucky's giving 19.5. I have it 24.5. I'll lay the points. Number 16, Villanova at Temple on ESPNU. I project Villanova by 11, and it's 5.5. I'll lay the points. SMU, number 24, Dayton. My projection is 27 for the Flyers, and it is 11.5. I'll lay the points. Akron, Mississippi State. I have Miss State by 9.5, and it is let's see. There's so many games tonight. 5.5, so I'm going to lay the points. And this game's also at Wells Fargo, which is odd that they chose this place for a neutral site game. Bowling Green, Oakland. My projection is Bowling Green by 3. And it's Oakland by 6.5. Give me Bowling Green getting the 6.5 and plus 250 to win outright. Allen University, UNC Wilmington, we can skip. Iona Hofstra is interesting. My projection here is Hofstra by 2, but Iona is favored in this game by 2.5. Give me Hofstra getting the 2.5 and plus 130 to win outright. Maine, Fort Kent, Maine, we can skip. Methodist Coastal, we can skip. Old Dominion, Drexel. My projection is Drexel by 10. And that's crazy. Old Dominion's favored by 2.5. That's why I said that's crazy. Drexel, I'll take the 2.5 and they're plus 126 to win outright. Mount St. Mary's, Coppin State. I have Mount St. Mary's by 0.5 as my projection. And Coppin's giving 1.5. Give me Mount St. Mary's getting the 1.5 and minus 104 to win. McNeese, Tulane. My projection is Tulane by 34. And Tulane is favored by I don't see this game, which is bizarre. Tulane. 20.5, so I'm gonna lay the points. Northern Iowa and Richmond. My projection is Richmond by 21.5. And Richmond is they should be giving points. They're home. 6.5. So I'm going to lay the points with Richmond. Longwood and George Mason. My projection is George Mason by 22.5. And it's 8.5. I'll lay the points. Central Con, Manhattan. I have Manhattan by a whopping 25, and it's 5.5. I'll lay the points. Furman, I have Furman by a whopping 20, and it's 8.5. I'll lay the points of Furman. Cal State, Bakersfield, Utah. My projection is Utah by 34, and it's 19.5. I'll lay the points. Austin Peay, Purdue. On the Big Ten Network, Purdue's giving 24. I have 35.5. I'll lay the points. St. Fran, Brooklyn, Minnesota. I have 30.5, and it's 18.5. I'll lay the points. Kansas State, Cal on the Pac-12 Network. Kansas State, I have as a 1.5 point favorite, and they're giving 6.5. So giving Cal getting the points here on the Pac-12 Network. Southern Miss Vandy, my line's 28, and it's 17.5. I'll lay the points. FAU, Ole Miss. I have Ole Miss by 13 at 6. I'll lay the points. Kennesaw State, Florida. Florida's giving 19. I have 26. I'll lay the points. West Virginia, Pitt. I have 6, and it's 2.5. I'll lay with West Virginia. I should say West Virginia by 6. Campbell, NC State. It's 14, and I have 25.5. I'll lay the points. UNC Greensboro, Miami, Florida. I have 18.5, and it's 10. I'll lay the points. Florida State, UCF. That's an interesting game. I have 10, and it's 1. I'll lay the 1 with the Seminoles. Clemson, South Carolina. Clemson's giving 3.5 is my line, and it's 1.5. I'll lay the points of Clemson. Stanford, Wisconsin on Fox Sports 1. I have Stanford as a 2.5-point favorite, believe it or not. Wisconsin's giving 5. I'll take Stanford getting the points and whatever the money line is. Norfolk State at number 5, Baylor, 8 o'clock. Baylor's giving 24.5. I'll lay the points. I have 36.5. Fordham, number 10, Arkansas. My line's 23 and it's 19.5. I'll lay the points. Lamar, number 14, TCU. I have 47.5 and it's 33. I'll lay the points. South Florida, number 15, Auburn. I have 32 and it's 20. I'll lay the points. Liberty, number 20, Alabama. I have Alabama by 18.5 and it's 8.5. Which my numbers were a little bit more favorable to Liberty. But I'll lay the points with Bama. A&M Commerce, Northern Colorado. I have 22.5 from Northern and it's 10. I'll lay the points. John Brown, Oral Roberts, we can skip. Chicago State, St. Thomas. I have St. Thomas by 1 is 10.5. I'll take Chicago State getting all those points. Loyola, Chicago, UIC. I have Loyola by a whopping 31. It's 10.5. I'll lay the points. UTSA and A&M Corpus Christi. I have UTSA by 8.5. And it's A&M Corpus Christi by 7.5. Wrong team's favorite. Give me UTSA getting the 7.5. And whatever the money line is. Montana, Xavier. I have Xavier by 23.5, and it's 17.5 on Fox Sports 2. I'll lay the points. Colorado, Grambling. I have Colorado by 31.5, and it's 16. I'll lay the points. Northern Illinois, Northwestern by 30. It's 17. I'll lay the points. NC&T and Iowa. I have Iowa 32.5, and it's 24.5. I'll lay the points. Pine Bluff, Oklahoma. I have a whopping 48, and it's 29.5. I'll lay the points. App Christian A&M. I have 28.5, and it's 12.5. I'll lay the points. Penn, Missouri. I have 24. And it's 12. I'll lay the points. Princeton, Navy. From Annapolis. I have Princeton by 1. And it's a pick'em. I wonder what the total is in that game. It is... Where's the total in that game? 135.5. I'll take the over gladly with an Ivy League team especially involved. Alani's Tennessee State. I have Tennessee State by 19.5 and it's 6.5. I'll lay the points. Georgia Wake. I have Wake by 0.5 and it's 7. Give me Georgia getting all those points and I'm going to take them to win outright too, whatever the money line is. Southern, number 17, Arizona, 9 o'clock on the Pac-12 Network. I have 45 and it's 27. I'll lay the points. Monmouth at number 8, Virginia. I have 43 and it's 24. I'll lay the points. Eastern Michigan at number 24, Michigan on ESPNU. I have 30.5. It's 18.5. I'll lay the points in Michigan. Kansas City and number 23, Illinois on the Big Ten Network. I have 25 and it's 48.5. I'll lay the points. And then the ones I didn't do. Florida, A&M, Oregon State. It's 18. I'll lay the points. Bradley, Utah State. Utah State's giving 7. I'll lay the points. I don't feel good about it. South Alabama, New Mexico. New Mexico's giving 9.5. I'll lay the points with begrudging. Yale, Eastern Washington. Yale's a 3-point favorite. I like the upset there, giving Eastern Washington. Southeast Louisiana, Colorado State. Colorado State's giving 18.5. I'll lay it. NGIT, Cal Baptist. Baptist is giving 11.5. I'll lay the points. Pepperdine and Fullerton. Pepperdine's a 3-point favorite. I'll take Fullerton the win. Portland State, Portland. Portland's giving 13. I'll take State the cover. Fox Sports 2 in Western Illinois and DePaul. DePaul's giving a whopping 16.5. I'll lay the points, but uncomfortably. 10:30, BYU number 19, San Diego State. San Diego State's giving 10.5. Give me BYU to cover. not the win. Long Beach State at number 8 UCLA on the Pac-12 Network at 11 o'clock. UCLA is going to be 19. I'll lay the point. UC Irvine number 21. Oregon's favored by 14. I'll lay the point. North Florida, Washington. Washington's favored by 13. I'll lay the points. And last but not least, Rainbow Classic. Miss Valley State, Hawaii. Hawaii's going to be 25. I'll lay the points because Miss State is so bad. All right, the weekend. Busy weekend. 11 o'clock, Green Bay, Georgetown. 12 o'clock, SC State, Tennessee State. 12 o'clock, Fox Sports 2. St. Peter's, Seton Hall. So right away, the Shaheem Holloway revenge game. 1 o'clock, Goshen, Miami of Ohio. SAU, Edwardsville, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Stonehill Army, James Madison, Buffalo, Cleveland State, Ohio. Rice State, Louisville. 2 o'clock, Cincinnati, Claremont, Northern Kentucky. Ball State, Indiana State. UMass Lowell, Rutgers. 3 o'clock, Belhaven, Sanford. Jackson State, Tulsa. Brevard, UNC Asheville. Champion Christian, UT Martin. Wagner, LaSalle. 4 o'clock, Paseta, San Jose State. College of New Jersey, Rider. Bryn Athyn, Maryland Eastern. Those couple were at 4 o'clock, starting with the Paseta, San Jose State. Niagara, Bucknell. Alcorn, Wichita. Middle Tennessee, Winthrop. Wofford, High Point. Presbyterian, East Carolina. Northern Arizona, Utah Valley. Texas State, Rhode Island. Grand Canyon, Nevada. Lions, Southeast Missouri State at 5. St. Fran, Illinois, New Orleans. CU Harrisburg, Lipscomb. 6 o'clock, Dakota State, South Dakota. Incarnate Word, UNLV. Arkansas State, LSU. Fox Sports 2, Lafayette, St. John. 7 o'clock, Hartford, St. Fran, PA. Cartridge, Milwaukee. Wazoo, Boise. Kentucky State, Western Kentucky. Binghamton, Marist. Trinity Baptist, Georgia Southern. Morgan State, VCU. St. Bonaventure, Canisius. Evansville, St. Louis. MCLA, Dartmouth. Georgia Tech, Georgia State. Albany, Siena. Lindsey Wilson, Murray State at 8. Regent Hampton. Illinois State, Northwestern State, Southwest of Venice, Texas Rio Grande, Bellarmine, Morehead State, Northeastern Providence on Fox Sports 2. 8:30 Southwestern Texas Arlington, 9 o'clock St. Catherine, Southern Utah, Cal State, Northridge, Utah Tech, New Mexico State, UTEP, UC Davis, Loyola Marymount, and UC San Diego hosts Sacramento State. Sunday, a little bit of a smaller window. 12 o'clock Gallaudet, Howard, Eastern Kentucky, Cincinnati. 1 o'clock Columbia, Sacred Heart, Quinnipiac, Central Connecticut, NCAT, Iowa State. 2 o'clock ESPN, Colorado, number 11, Tennessee. So that's an interesting game for ESPN to have. Eastern Illinois, Central Michigan, Wells College, Colgate, Pacific, North Dakota State, Manhattan, Fairleigh Dickinson. The Asheville Championship on ESPNU, that is to be determined. VMI Davidson, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Miss State, Oklahoma State, Oakland, Pfeiffer, Longwood, St. Fran, Brooklyn, St. Thomas, Minnesota, Idaho, Omaha, Texas Southern hosts Arizona State. 4 o'clock, Mr. Codia, Lehigh, Southern Illinois, Southern Indiana, Brescia, Western Carolina, Southeast Louisiana, Wyoming, American George Mason, Towson, Penn, Youngstown, Notre Dame, Asheville Championship, 4:30 ESPNU. We don't know who that's going to be. 5 o'clock, UC Merced, San Francisco, Western Michigan, Valpo, NJIT, San Diego, Alabama State, Pepperdine, Brown, Loyola, Maryland, Portland State, Seattle at 6. Ave Maria, Florida, Gulf Coast, Lindenwood, Missouri, William and Mary, Virginia Tech. 7 o'clock, Montana State, Long Beach State. 7:30, Yale, Miss Valley State in the Rainbow Classic. 8 o'clock, Vermont, Fullerton. 8 o'clock, North Texas, St. Mary's, and Eastern Washington against Hawaii. All right, now move on to the NBA. We'll recap the games from yesterday very quickly and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Wiz over the Mavs, 113-105. Hawks over the Sixers, 104-95. Heat over the Hornets, 117-112 in overtime. And Blazers over the Pels, 106-95. All right, 7 o'clock, NBA TV. You have the Nuggets and the Celtics. Good game from Boston. The Celtics are giving 4.5 totals, 230. I have Pick'em. Give me the Nugs. I didn't do totals. Suns Magic. I have Suns by 14 at 7.5. I'll lead the points. Pistons Knicks from the Garden. Knicks are giving 8.5. I have 8. Totals 224.5. I'll take the over. I think the Knicks offense bounces back. 8 o'clock. Raps Thunder. Raps are giving 5. I have 9.5. I'll lead the points. I know no Siakam. Bucks Spurs. The Spurs are actually 1.5 point favorites. I don't think anybody would expect this, but the big three are out. Totals 219.5. I'll take the under because I don't want to take the Bucks. 9:30 ESPN. Timberwolves Grizzlies. Interesting game, playoff rematch from last year. Grizzlies are giving 4. I have 5, so it's 234.5. I'll take the under. Best game on the night, though, is Cavs Warriors, you would think, right? Oh, no, Nuggets Celtics is the best game. Duh. Warriors are giving 2.5. I have pick. I'm giving the Cavs getting the 2.5. I'm going to call for the outright upside here. They're plus 116. Let's see if the Cavs are really for real, as the overreactors would say. 10:30, Kings Lakers. Kings are giving 3.5, 5.5. I'll lay the points with the Kings. Saturday, 4 o'clock Nets, Clippers, 6 o'clock Jazz, Wiz, 7 o'clock Celtics, Pistons, Raptors, Pacers, 7:30 Hawks, Sixers, 8 o'clock Hornets, Heat, 8:30 Blazers, Mavs, and on NBA TV, Rockets, Pels. Sunday, 12 o'clock Thunder, Knicks, 6 o'clock Wolves, Cavs, Grizz, Wiz, 7:30 Jazz, Sixers. That's an interesting game all of a sudden. 8 o'clock Nuggets, Bulls, 9 o'clock Warriors, Kings, and 9:30 NBA TV, the Nets and the Lakers. The drama showdown. All right, the NHL, we'll go over yesterday's games and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. I believe tonight's slate is small, but Saturday's obviously is huge, and Sunday's is small. Bruins over the Flames 3-1. Golden Knights over the Sabres 7-4. Hurricanes over the Oilers 7-2. Jackets over the Flyers 5-2. Red Wings over the the Rangers over the Red Wings, the 2 R teams. 8-2. Impressive win for the Rangers. Devils over the Sens 4-3 in OT on a game winner by Nico Hischier. Coyotes over the Islanders 2-0. Blues over the Sharks 5-3. Avs over the Preds 5-3. And the Kings over the Blackhawks 2-1 in overtime on a game winner by Kevin Fiala. And oh, by the way, letdown, absolute garbage letdown for the Islanders after the big comeback against the Rangers and then the night prior against the Flames. 4 games tonight, 7 o'clock. You have the Penguins and the Maple Leafs in Toronto. The Leafs are minus 142. Pittsburgh's plus 110 over under 6.5, minus 110 each way. Pens plus 1.5 is minus 205. Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 164. I like the over. NHL Network, Lightning Caps. Lightning minus 137, Caps plus 114, over under 6.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 176. Caps plus 1.5 is minus 220. Tough one. But I'm going to go with another over. Stars hosting the Sharks at 8:30. The Stars minus 235. The Sharks are plus 190, over under 6, minus 110 each way. Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 132. Stars minus 1.5 is plus 108. I like the over there too. And then the Wild and the Kraken. The Wild are minus 130. The Kraken are minus 106. Over under 6.5, minus 110 each way. Wild minus 1.5 is plus 105. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 260. Give me the Seattle Kraken as a home dog at minus 106. Saturday, 1 o'clock Sens Flyers. 4 o'clock Oilers Panthers. 7 o'clock Bruins Sabres. Pens Habs. Coyotes Devils. Canucks Leafs. Nucks Leafs. I like saying that. Nucks Leafs. 7:30 Jackets Isles. 8 o'clock Rangers Preds. Canes Avs at 9. 10 Blackhawks Dogs. Jets Flames. Blues Golden Knights, and 10:30 Red Wings Kings. So a lot of late night games on Saturday. Sunday, 1 o'clock Stars Flyers. 6 o'clock Canucks Bruins. Sharks Wild. Coyotes Rangers. ESPN is the Capitals and the Lightning. Interesting choice. And then 8 o'clock is the Jets and the Kraken. All right, now I'll move on to golf and go over the current leaderboard for the Houston Open. What's sad about the Friday shows the next 3 months is that we won't have NASCAR. That's unfortunate. First place 11 under Tony Finau, who I believe was yours truly's pick. Aha! And it looks really good. I see he has a big lead over James Hunt, Keith Mitchell, and Patrick Rogers, who are all 6 under. Tied for 5th with 5 under, Alex Loren, Aaron Weiss, Stefan Yeager, Wyndham Clark, and Tyler Alexander. Tied for 10th with 4 under, Davis Lipsky, Max McGreevy, Joel Dahman, Gary Woodley, Mackenzie Hughes, Aaron Ray, Ben Taylor, and Justin Sue. Tied for 18th with 3 under, Justin Rose, Trey Mullinax, Dylan McCarthy, Brent Grant, Sam Piercy, Zichung Du, Brandon Steele, Harry English, Siwoo Kim, Martin Laird, Taylor Pendrith. Tied for 30 with 2 under, Austin Cook, Will Gordon, MJ Dauphin, Sungkoo Kim, Lucas Hodges, Travis Vick, Eric Barnes, Michael Kim, Kyle Westmoreland, Ben Griffin, and Yuan Yachun, or Yachun Yan. Tied for 41st with 1 under. Just going to go through notables now. Danny Lee, Luke List, Zach Johnson, Jason Day, Francesco Molinari, Justin Lara, Russell Knox, Michael Giljic, Maverick McNeely, Matthew Neesmith, Taylor Moore, Adam Putnam, Matthias Schwab, Adam Hadwin. Tied for 56 at even. Matt Wallace, Doc Redmond, Scotty Scheffler, Hideki Matsuyama, Tyler Duncan, Adam Long, Callum Tarrant, Nate Watney, Alex Smalley, Joseph Brumlett, and Davis Thompson. Tied for 69th with 1 over. Ryan Palmer, Kyle Kraft, Lee Thiglia, Ty Montgomery, Sebastian Munoz, Kevin Stroman, Robbie Shelton, Kevin Twice, Scott Stevens, Brandon Wu, and Samuel Stevens. Tied for 85th with 2 over. Richie Wierenski, Nate Taylor, Adam Schenk, Ryan or Moore, Dylan Lingworth, Dylan Fratelli, Stuart Sink, Cam Champ, Charlie Hoffman. Tied for 101st with 3 over. Adam Svebson, Henrik Norlander, Ryan Henley. Tied for 109th with 4 over. Chasen Hadley, Patrick Knowles, Robert Streb, Joaquin Herman, Chad Ramey, Ben Martin's tied for 116th with 5 over with Danny Willett, Bayo Hostler, Evan Van Royen, Jason Duffner, Cam Young, Kramer Hickok. Tied for 124th with 6 over is Seb Straka. 129th with 8 over Peter Malnati. 130th with 9 over Mark Hubbard. And 132nd with 12 over Grayson Higo. Okay, now I'll move on to the news and notes for today. I'm going to try to be pretty quick here as well. We are going to talk about some MLS stuff first. Some big names missing from Spain's roster. No Ramos and no Thiago. Those are 2 big losses for that team. And Mane from Bayern makes the World Cup despite suffering an injury scare on Tuesday. Basketball, no LeBron against the Kings. We talked about that already. Dame didn't play last night due to injury management. Precious Achiuwa out indefinitely with partial tears of ligaments in his right ankle. That's brutal for the Raptors. The Lakers are facing a LeBron decision as sources tell Chris Haynes that the Lakers VIPs aren't aligned on how to maximize LeBron. What the heck? That's insane. Russell Westbrook is getting trade interest as teams are calling them about Westbrook is thriving in a 6-man role. My ass. That's probably the most fake story I've heard all year. I need to see him to be traded to make me believe it. Because I don't think anybody wants him. Football. The NFL and the Commanders are being sued as the Attorney General says that Dan Snyder, the team, the NFL, and the Commissioner colluded to deceive residents about workplace investigation. Oof. Jason Verrett out for the year for tearing his Achilles. Big loss for the Niners. Hunter Renfrow placed on injury reserve due to his oblique injury. That's a big loss for the Vegas Raiders. Darren Waller also on IR because of the hamstring injury. That is brutal for Vegas as well. And my goodness, because that takes away 1.5 points on their projected line. So that goes to Colts by 1 now, which is absolutely stupid as my projected line. Talk about a wild day for Falcons lineman Jake Matthews. He flew to Atlanta for the birth of his child earlier yesterday and came back to Charlotte for the big game. Woof. Silver Sluggers were announced in Major League Baseball. Among those in the American League, it's J-Rod, and in National League, Juan Soto. it was a good group of players that made the list. So Alejandro Kirk, Nathaniel Lowe, Jose Altuve, Xander Bogaerts, Jose Ramirez, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Julio, Yordan Alvarez, Luis Arez, JT Realmuto, Paul Goldschmidt, Jeff McNeil, Trey Turner, Leonard Arenado, Kyle Schwarber, Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, Josh Bell, and Brandon Drury. So there's your Silver Sluggers for the year. The Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw are nearing a one-year deal. I predicted Kershaw back to the Dodgers on the MLB offseason predictions show. So that looks like a first correct prediction out of the gate. The Padres give reliever Robert Suarez a 5-year extension, $46 million. Good for him. He was a great setup man for them this past season, although he was a part of the collapse in Game 5 against the Phils. Astros decide to decline Trey Mancini's $10 million option, so he's now a free agent. The Rays declined Kevin Kiermaier's option, $13 million, so he's now a free agent. The Rays trade Jai-Man Choi to Pittsburgh. We don't know what the return back is, so Pittsburgh gets themselves a DH/first baseman. DeGrom is interested in the Texas Rangers as he let the team know he's interested in signing there. That's according to John Heyman of MLB Network. And Charlie McAvoy came back last night against the Flames, which is awesome for them. And then 2023 quarterback Jaden Rashada announces he's switching his commitment from the Hurricanes to the Gators. What a big switch for both sides. And I think both teams on-field, or especially Miami's on-field performance, is a reason why he decided to switch. So the hits just keep coming. The hits just keep coming for the Canes. That was a tough one to say. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. For best bet in Fab 5 this week, it's only going to be a quarter of a unit. So best bet tonight, I'm going to go again to college hoops. And the one that I like the most of all of these and really caught my eye with how low the number was Villanova, but I really don't want to go there. But there's an underdog I liked in college tonight, and that is the Georgia Bulldogs. They're getting 7.5 at Wake Forest. So that's going to be my best bet of the day. Georgia plus 7.5, a quarter unit against Wake. All right, now the Fab 5. It's only going to be a quarter of the unit this week. We'll start in college football. The first pick of the Fab 5, I'm going to go to an underdog that I like to cover their number, and that's Ole Miss getting the 11.5 at Alabama. I like that pick a lot. So give me Ole Miss plus the points. Pick number 2 of the Fab 5. I'm going to a team that needs a win to get bowl eligible, and that is the UConn Huskies. Give me UConn. Plus the 13.5 at home against Liberty. The third pick of the Fab 5 is going to be I wanted to take FIU again, but they burned me last week, so no thank you. Part of me wants to take Mississippi State, but I trust Georgia. So pick number 3. Give me TCU getting the 7.5. I just think that they're going to be ready to go. Sonny Dykes has done an amazing job all season long. And Texas is not bad. Give me TCU getting the 7.5 at Texas for pick number 3. Pick number 4. I wanted to take Syracuse getting the points, but it's too juicy for me to go there. And Florida State's looking good right now. But I understand people for betting that. So pick number 4. I'm going to lay 4.5 with Coastal Carolina against Southern Miss. Coastal Carolina has been very good to yours truly this year. So give me Coastal Carolina minus the 4.5 at home against Southern Miss. And pick number 5 as a total. I'm going under 77.5 between Arizona and UCLA. I think that is way too high of a total. UCLA is looking ahead to USC. I don't think they're going to go up and about. Maybe they rest some guys later in the game, and Zona just is like a blah. So a 45-20 final works, and that's what I see this game being around, and that, to me, works as an under. And the money line choice of the week, I'm going with TCU plus 250 at Texas. It's their time to shine. They want to prove to everybody that they're the team to beat in the Big 12. NFL Fab 5. Pick number 1, I'm going to Germany. Give me the Seahawks getting the 2.5. I think that they're going to be ready to go. And Geno Smith is going to continue to be motivated. Pick number 2, I'm going to lay 5.5 with the Giants coming off their bye at home against the Texans. A lot of people are going to think I'm crazy for this and call me a homer. But I just think that under 7 with the Giants. I think the Texans are the worst team in the league, and the Giants are 6-2. Come on now. This is the first time all year that I think the Giants are going to win a game by double digits. Pick number 3 in the Fab 5. I'm laying 3.5 with the Miami Dolphins against the Cleveland Browns. Miami's just so much better than the Browns, and Tua's having the year of his life. So give me Miami minus the 3.5 against the Browns. Pick number 4, give me the Minnesota Vikings getting the 3.5 in Buffalo against the Bills. This line is this low for a reason. And I think that Minnesota is going to show up and out. And pick number 5, I'm going to lay the 2.5 with Tennessee against Denver. Denver has injuries galore. I'm banking on Ryan Tannehill to come back this week. So give me the Tennessee Titans minus the 2.5 at home and getting a number under 3 against Denver. The money line pick of the week is going to be the Minnesota Vikings plus 154 at the Bills. Josh Allen's not 100%. The Bills have a lot of injuries in their secondary. If this was a night game, I'd be very weary of this, but it's a day game. Kirk Cousins, I think, will have a you like that kind of moment. So you like that? Skull, baby. Minnesota plus 154 as my underdog money line pick of the week for the NFL. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend and looking ahead to what's to come. All right, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, everyone.